Hello and welcome to Stillness in Success. I'm your host, Mustafa Nuristani. And so today I have a very interesting guest because they're both in music and the world of IT. But before I introduce my guest, I want to just remind you to make sure you subscribe and share this podcast with your family and friends. And also I want to give a beautiful shout out to our sponsor who are giving all our viewers 20% discount on all of Maharishi Ayurveda products. So continue watching and then you will see the little code appear during the show. And so you have to watch and then you will see the code and then you can go on the website and enter your unique code and get your products. So now it's my great joy to introduce someone who I've known for a few years now. When I first met them, I was really impressed with their devotion and dedication to personal development, to growing in enlightenment. And then I got to know that they are such an amazing rock star. And also, that I would have never guessed that they also are an expert in information technology or IT. So it's my great joy to bring to you Satyajeet Samant. Welcome to the program.
Thank you, Mustafa.
So nice to have you.
And thank you for inviting me here.
It's nice to be together and finally be able to coordinate this because you are so busy and then I'm so busy and then it took like literally a couple of months for us to have this opportunity together. So thank you. And now, tell me, you always had a passion for music, huh?
Yes, that's right.
And not just classical music that if someone looks at you, they think, oh, he's brown, so maybe he's from India and maybe he's more classical. But where are you actually from originally?
Originally from India.
Oh, so that people guess correctly, yes.
Yeah. And my dad was working overseas. And when he was working in Iraq, actually.
Oh.
He couldn't understand the local radio, so he used to listen to Western music there, and he got lots of tapes from Iraq back to Mumbai, and I just listened to those tapes. I liked the music, so I, started listening to Western music early in my life. That was just a coincidence, and then I just developed more liking for it, and I learned about Indian classical music quite late in my life, and I started to appreciate that as well. But ultimately, I feel music is music. All music is ultimately, help you transcend. And It doesn't matter where you start from. It just to do it every day is important.
So now that's really beautiful. The fact that you were exposed to Western music at a very young age. And it's so true that, when you hear something when you're young, it kind of builds on something more later in life. Because sometimes I hear, like I'm from Afghanistan, everybody knows that, but when I hear some Afghan music that I don't remember ever playing myself, but I'm like, my God, that sounds so familiar. It's such a cool song.
Yeah.
And it's because my parents were listening to it.
Yeah.
And then, but when I was young, I always wanted to do music, but, it was never really something that we would have the opportunity to do because, we were refugees and we were also in India, refugees in New Delhi. And when I said to my mom, I want to learn to play music, I want to play the tabla and the harmonium, and my mom said, no, you need to focus on your studies. We're refugees. You can't go get music lessons.
Oh,
which is fair enough. I mean, I have kids now, and if I was in a dire situation, the last thing I'd be thinking is, let's put him in some harmonium classes just to see how he develops.
Yeah.
But you had that opportunity, and also India's music culture is so deeply ingrained in the whole consciousness of that whole area.
Yep.
And so music comes from all different areas, and they have their own flavor, which means the laws of nature lively in that area inspires that person to create that kind of a music.
Correct. That's so true. That's so true. And music in India is diverse. Every state has got their own music, and there are different instruments. There's so many instruments, and ultimately the Indian classical music, which originates from either Hindustani music or Carnatic music, it has a goal of transcendence. It is the goal of that music is not just to entertain the mind, but to discover something deeper in it. So there is a little bit of a harder entry point. So the entry point is not that easy as Western music. So you don't like when you listen to it, especially if you're young, But when you are mature enough to understand it, you go deeply into it. I started with Western music, and I love Western music. It's doesn't matter where you start from. It's important that you start the journey, and just fascinating where it takes you.
Yes, it really is. And, I've seen you in action, and, you played a beautiful rock song with your guitar, and you were completely immersed in that whole experience, which was just so beautiful to watch, when people are watching and you see someone so deeply immersed in that experience of the self, the being. And that's what you're talking about, because when, classical music is really about enlivening the soul, enlivening the creative intelligence within you,
yes,
channeling that reality, and then expressing it.
That's true.
And so when people sit in the audience, they are just awestruck, they're just like, God, what happened? This was just magical.
Yeah.
And I've been to, when I was in India recently, after our 7 years of being refugees in India, then we came out to Australia, and we came on humanitarian visas, even though I tell people that we came by boat, because in Australia we have this kind of stigma around people who come by boat, that they're somehow less of a human. So I always tell people, like, oh, I came by boat. And then people are like, oh, wow, you're doing really well. And I'm like, yeah, people by boat, they're just like you and I, just people escaping persecution. And that's what we were doing. So when I went back to India, it was a completely different experience, because I went to this beautiful concert where this very famous sitar player was sitting in the middle. And there was a tabla player on one side and another tabla player on the other side. And what they were doing was they were playing the same notes. And they were challenging. And then the sitar player would play this notes like, and then the tabla player would just continue to just say, okay, well, I'm going to play it on the tabla, and this is what it's going to sound like. And the whole room, it was like a beautiful, nice hall, was completely filled with this effervescent feeling in the environment. It was just like so soft, and everything was just, and that's the experience of being that you're talking about.
Yes, true. It's, Indian classical concerts are kind of a representation of universe, right? How it began and how it's going to be transforming into stages and going back to the beginning. Same with life. So music, Indian classical music also represents life of a person. So, it starts with slow kind of definition of notes, where the artists just say a word. They don't say the entire sentence. They don't say entire paragraph. They just say a word after word after word. That's how the story is built. And then the story unfolds into, more complexity, and then it comes back to the beginning. So that's why it's like a full circle of life. And that's why what you felt, because it was more in line with how the life works. You felt more of a connectivity.
Yes, it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. So now you did your music. You were in a band in India,
Yes.
and you had all these young girls screaming your name, which is very exciting for you. And you're like, well, what can I say?
I would not deny that. Keep going on.
He's not going to refute me at that point, yes. And then you decided that you met the love of your life, and then you got married, and then you came to Australia.
Yes.
Now, in Australia, life was different.
Yes, actually, I came to Australia and, kind of went into the safe path that life offers in terms of, having a job, doing my master's in IT, having a job after that, having a steady income and everything. But I was not fulfilled because I was, paying my mortgage. But life is more than paying mortgage.
Exactly.
And I wasn't fulfilled, so I went back to my first love. And instead of performing live in bands, I thought of shaping other people musically, by teaching them guitar. And I was working and I was teaching at the same time. And slowly I started institute called Rising Tones. So the name comes from rising through music, and helping tones help to rise in whatever is your definition of rising. So Rising Tones started, and it just grew and grew and grew, and we have several hundred students now, and it's very fascinating to watch them grow so much, grow as a person, grow as musicians. And
what do you get out of it? What do you get out of someone who comes and is just really no idea how to play the guitar, and then they start, and then within a month or 2 months or 3 months, they're now a little bit more stable and transformed. So that journey that you see from beginning to 6 months, a year when they're with you, what does that journey make you feel like?
Oh, and that feeling is hard to explain in words. It's, as I always say, this is not music education industry that I'm in. It is personal development agency. So industry. So it's about developing the people, not only as the musicians but also as people, also as better citizens. And music is like a miniature form of life. So it teaches all the things that life is going to teach you anyways, but it teaches you without the risk. It teaches you without actual physical failures, and it teaches you determination. It teaches you patience, which, as life also teaches you. You
have to get a lot older to have all those.
A lot older, things. Make
lots of
20 mistakes,
yes,
and then learn the hard way. Where music teaches you everything in a controlled environment and quite at an early age. So when you have that,
discipline,
discipline and toolbox with you, you can use that in life, and the life pathway changes. And I've seen that changing for many young kids, and that is the most fulfilling aspect of of this industry. Music education, yeah.
Beautiful. And then how did you decide I want to go deeper within me, and I want to the thirst was still there, because in 2019 you learned Transcendental Meditation.
True.
So what was that journey like? How did you pivot to that?
Actually, I heard about TM from a British rock band, Beatles. They were into TM, and Paul McCartney. He still does TM. Ringo Starr still does TM.
Yes,
and and it helped the creation of their latest album. And that was really wonderful. So I was gravitated to TM because of them. Then I did my TM course with you, and that was magical, and it changed everything in a good way. It gave me a different kind of a perspective about everything, and I can go on and on with this, but it's just like one of the benefits is it stopped the noise, the background noise, and there was much more clarity. Yeah. It's like you go to, or you are in a room and there is an air conditioner going on in that room. That air conditioner is not that loud that you would get up and turn it off, but it is there and it is bugging you, but you don't understand. And suddenly when it's turned off, you then realize that it was on all the time. So that kind of a feeling, when I did the TM, I realized that something that was going on, which was at the background but not helpful, has stopped, and I've opened up to much more clarity.
You know what that is?
Mm-hmm.
It's called something. It's called trait anxiety.
Okay.
Trait anxiety is this experience of this constant murmur, this constant, just like you said, like the constant humming of the heater or the cooler. That's there. And you just live life because that's just life, This is it. This is life. I'm just going through and I need my house and this is the cooler. But like you said, as soon as you turn it off, lack of it creates that appreciation. Oh my God.
Yeah.
There's so much more silence here.
Yes.
And that silence is where I draw all my creative ideas from.
Correct. Yeah. That's so true.
What did it do to your creativity?
It's like I was more connected to the empty slate, if that means anything. It's basically, you start with an empty slate, but you really always have something written on it. And it is hard to rub it, to completely start with a fresh canvas, brand new canvas when you're creating something new. So to get rid of that, to clean the slate was helpful. Another thing, just totally forgot about that. Completely blanked. I was going to had a good point.
This is cleaning the slate is all about. Just having that total silence where you're just like completely silent, completely quiet.
Yes. And another thing, now I remember that one, what I was going to say, is the present. It allows me to be in present. And music is presence, because you create music now, right in this moment, and you enjoy music right now in this moment. Actually, it's with everything. But since we are talking about music, it's you.
That's
enjoy.
you're a musician, yes.
Yeah. So you create music in the moment, and when you are truly in the moment yourself, you can access that much more effectively. So being in the present has really helped me to be a better musician, and TM has helped me to be in the present.
Absolutely, which is something that everyone is looking for. This inability to enjoy life.
Yes.
This inability to, like, I'm doing something, but I don't even know why I'm doing this thing, and it doesn't even make sense, and I don't want to, can I just do something else? And, maybe, because constantly my students are telling me that they're doing something, but they're thinking about that, and they're thinking about that, and so nothing is getting done, and and the day ends.
Yes.
Which means the life is progressing, and that means when someone comes to their 60, and they're really unfulfilled because the whole, like, they're 60 now. The body's becoming frail. They're not able to be as active. And the experiences, which is what makes life, it's everyday experiences that accumulate to this life experience.
Yes.
And so if those experiences are missed because we're just too running around, then life has no meaning.
Yes. Actually, human beings are the species who have, a baggage of a past and worry about the future, Animals don't have it. That's why I recently got a dog as well. He's a little puppy, Labrador, and he is in present.
Yes.
So when you see him being so much in present, he takes you with him to the present. And same thing, as you said, what happens when you watch a music performance of an artist, because they are so much in present when they are improvising or playing something, you do not think about the past, you do not think about the future, you are in the moment, and that gives you the bliss.
Yes.
And there are many ways to find the bliss. Like TM is the one way, so you can have that bliss every single day, twice a day, if you want to. If you allow yourself to be in that present.
Yes.
Time.
But the other thing was really beautiful that you said was, you said that when you came to Australia, you took the safe road. And that was because you're in a new country, you're establishing yourself and like that, and you don't have the. People forget that when refugees come to this country, they don't have like 3 generations of support. Here.
True.
And they have to start from zero. So it makes sense that you're like, okay, I need to do something about the fact that I'm new and I need to be in the safe life.
True.
But what happened, I think it's because you, from the very young age, were a musician and you valued the experience of the self and the experience of enjoying life and being present. And that's where you decided that it's not just about paying the mortgage. I want to enjoy my life. I want to do what I love.
True. Yeah, that's right. And actually, I did not understand the theory behind it. I did not. I just felt. I just understood the feeling. And the music is so powerful because it doesn't bore you with the theory. It doesn't give you the theory, but it gives you whatever it needs to give you to make good decisions, and it might be intuition, or it might be just knowing what you really want, and that's why I want to give that gift to all the young kids, gift of music, which is a natural thing, which all human beings are blessed. And you don't have to have a dream to become a musician. You can just go and learn an instrument because it's good for your brain. Yes.
It's actually good for your brain to know how to play music.
So many research and studies these days to prove that music can help them in their studies.
Exactly.
Help them to be better social players.
Yes.
Better citizens. So there are many studies that
confidence, self-esteem, the ability to express themselves.
Exactly.
It's so good. It's so good. I'm so happy for you, and I'm so happy that you had that experience as a childhood, which you couldn't really pinpoint, but it guided you in your intuition to take this path and have the successful music institute. And you're all over Melbourne, I imagine. 600 students can't be going in one place.
No, we have more than several hundred students, but we, they have been passed, like we have some online, some come to the Mill Park, and we have got other locations that we are opening as well.
Okay, beautiful. Yeah, beautiful.
And in addition to that, we have other programs that we are working on. We are creating bands. Now we have got enough number of students to mix and match and create bands, and that's a whole different experience and teamwork that they learn.
Beautiful.
And
beautiful.
That we are working on, and we are also working on the giving more senior artists a turnkey solution to life, So not just about musicality, it's about routine, which the artist lacks. Most of the times the artists, they lack in that routine. And they don't like routine, but its routine is not boring. It's smart, if you think about it that way. TM is something that we would definitely, let them learn and explain their benefits, and give them a holistic approach to become a better, not just players, but happy people.
Yes. Fulfilled human beings.
Yes.
And because if you have music, and we're running out of time, but I just want to quickly say this, that when you have one thing like music, or just meditation, or just gym work, working in the gym, or it's not enough. You need to have a holistic approach to life, where someone is able to give you, you learn to meditate, you do that meditation spontaneously, you're much better in making decisions. And then you go to the gym and you work out. And then you want to now play something to create that experience of creativity flowing through you. But then also your physiology needs to be looked after, and then that's where your experience of Ayurveda comes from, and then you give them the diet plan, and this is what kind of food you should have, this is what's good for you, and this is not. So it's really wonderful that you're doing this holistic thing. We're going to put your website in the show notes so people can get in touch with you and approach you about your wonderful work. And I just really want to say thank you so much for being here. Thank you for coming. I know you had to drive a long way to come here, so thank you.
My pleasure.
And thank you for your company, and with this yet another wonderful experience that I've had with my beautiful guest. And I look forward to your experience next week, where I meet another wonderful soul who is going to share their experiences of life and how they find success in everyday activities. Until then, take care and make sure you subscribe and look in the show notes for the website of Mr. Samant and also Maharishi Ayurveda, who are giving you the products. All right, take care and have a great week.